defend themselves, UN personnel have often claimed that the gypsies got their lead poisoning from smelting car batteries. However, Dr. Runo pointed out that none of these other toxic metals are found in car batteries. Dr. Roho Kim, a Harvard-trained medical doctor employed by WHO in Bonn, Germany, has been advising the UN on the lead poisoning in their camps in Kosovo. Although he is under orders not to give interviews or information about the gypsy camps, I got him to speak to me. I asked him if the lead poisoning was due to the gypsy smelting car batteries. He said no. He said most of the lead poisoning came from the toxic dust of the slag heaps and from the fact that the camps were built on the tailing stands of the mines. He said that every child conceived in the camps would have irreversible brain damage. He said that we had already lost an entire generation of gypsy children to lead poisoning. In a speech delivered in 2005 to WHO, UNMIC, and the Kosovo Minister of Health, Dr. Kim said, and I quote, "The present situation of the Roma community who are now living in these camps is extremely serious. I have personally researched lead poisoning since 1991, but I have never seen in the literature a population with such a high lead level of lead in their blood. I believe that the lead poisoning in North Mitrovica is unique, which has never been known before in history. This is one of the biggest catastrophes connected with lead in the world and in history." End of quote. To date, 77 gypsies have died in the UN camps. Even more miscarriages have occurred. The UN has never investigated one death in the camps or ever made an autopsy. However, from the symptoms described by relatives and neighbors, doctors consulted believe that lead poisoning contributed to most of the deaths and miscarriages. A few months ago, another gypsy baby died in Osteroid. It was 1 month old and had been born with a large head, swollen belly, and miniature legs. It woke at 6 in the morning, vomiting, and died 20 minutes later. Lead poisoning is a hideous and painful death for children. 4-year-old Janita Mehmeti was attending the camp kindergarten when her teacher noticed she was losing her memory and finding it hard to walk. Janita was sent back to her barracks where for the next 3 months she vomited several times a day before becoming paralyzed and dying. When her 2-year-old sister came down with the same symptoms, the UN doctor for Mitrovica refused to treat her, saying she was in a UN camp 1 kilometer out of his jurisdiction. In 1999, the U.S. office in Pristina airlifted 7,000 Albanians to Fort Dix, New Jersey to protect them from Serbs. In March 2004, the UN police and KFOR evacuated 4,000 Serbs to Kosovo bases to save them from Albanians. There are precedents in Kosovo for saving lives, but not 500 gypsy lives. Thus, this appeal to you as members of Parliament. In Europe today, we have a death camp for children. Please help us evacuate this camp. Please put pressure on the UN to save these children. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Polanski. I have to say your presentation and the content of it is a source of great and grave concern. And I'd like to take the opportunity on behalf of the Human Rights Committee on congratulating you on the work you've done, the research you've done, and the manner in which you've made your presentation and highlighted the appalling, inhumane conditions that prevail. Can I say a number of my colleagues have indicated when they saw the agenda, which is, as you may appreciate, is circulated to all members of the House, a number of my colleagues indicated their desire to avail of the system in the House where they're able to monitor the proceedings here today and also read the content of the proceedings. So a number of colleagues